Superman and Lois, Season 1, Episode 6, titled Broken Trust, and this episode is another great episode of the show. I mean, this show, I probably kept mentioning it, but I'm going to mention it again. Let's be honest, when it got announced that, hey, there's going to be a Supergirl spin-off, it's going to be a Superman show, and all kind of stuff, we all thought it would just be another CW DC show, same everything with a Superman campaign. It would just be Arrow with a Superman campaign, Flash with a Superman campaign. And then the trailers came out. We were like, holy crap, this seems like there's a little bit more budget with this show. You have a sense like feels very differently. And then while watching these episodes, you're like, holy crap, this is completely different and completely outside expectations, and it just works on every level. The only weak point of this episode is a concern that I keep having, but plus also at this point it was kind of like the most uninteresting part of the episode, which was Lois's story with her investigating and her investigating the evil businessman. Clearly out of all the four villains, he's the one I find the least appealing. He's you're just an evil businessman who's creating kryptonite. My guess, Lex Luthor was taken, right? And right, okay. Because he's creating kryptonite and all that kind of stuff. But what made the two things that made it uninteresting was it's the moment where you have the characters finding out what the audience already knows. So it's not that well invested, because you're kind of we know what's under the mines. It's kryptonite. They're making kryptonite. Turns out it's ex-kryptonite. And also the concern of too many villains. We have four villains, three of them are all linked to the Lois story. And it's a bit of a concern that you're thinking, are we having too much that we can chew? I get it. The problem making Superman stories is he's so overpowered. Who does he fight? He's able to just go punch and gong most of these characters. Unless your name is Batman, he can beat everyone's ass very easily. Unless you want to do Brainiac all the time. Brainiac or Darkseid and the go-to. So Mongol I always felt would be a cool thing to do. Gladiator with Superman, that could be a cool movie to do. A cool episode, a couple episodes. But anyway. But what is the core of this episode that is really well done, really appealing, really invested in, is Superman and Jonathan. Superman and Jordan. And it's, it's weird. I had another superhero parallel watching this episode. I was like, this is Clark is Uncle Ben if Uncle Ben has superpowers. Essentially this is what it is. Because the whole time watching, I'm like, Jordan's acting very Peter Parker-y. When immediately he gets his powers, immediately he realizes that he can do X, Y, and Z, he gets cocky. He gets impatient. He believes he basically abuses his power. Basically, he abuses it, and he's so fussed about beating up the bullies and at least proving them wrong. And it's like, what's going on? And he knows something that they don't. And Clark or Uncle Ben normally is the one that kind of pulls, Clark pulls Jordan back and basically saying you be careful there, careful. The whole time watching it, on the football field, the Omega football field, on the football field, the whole time, I knew okay, Jordan wants to beat the crap, he basically wants to be there's my still bully, I want to prove him wrong, and all that kind of stuff. And I was so worried that he was going to push him into the sun or hit him into the core, and then just threw him a couple of meters away. I was just absolutely I was on the edge of like, oh, Jordan, this something's bad's gonna happen, something bad's gonna happen, and something did happen. We have a broken hand, like Ultimate Spider-Man. Anyway, and all that, and it's this kind of bond of, I think it's that natural thing. Teenager gets superpowers, he's going to abuse the fuck out of it, and it's just really well drama. I mean, the relationship, the bickering between the two characters, and how Clark is really trying to tell him with great power comes great responsibility, and this is not clicking with Jonathan because he's head thinking, well, you're Superman, and that's an expectation with you that cannot be stand, and so what am I? What can I do to prove that I can be responsible with them? And him, and it's just this real written drama that kind of is the core of the show that keeps making the show really well done. I was like, here's the thing: when Jordan was getting these like headaches, was anyone kind of feeling like he's just about being superhero? Like it's just the surrounding of it. Like at the beginning, I thought it was that, but it turns out it's a little bit more of it. It's the speech at the end. We see a couple of times we see a piss off Soups, which is I don't know. Like anytime we have like Superman pierced with a laser eye comes out, you're like, you guys are fucked. You guys are fucked. Like he's not gonna kill you, but you guys are fucked. We got General Lang, which clearly the thing with General Lang in this, it kind of hammers home this whole thing of this is a guy he sees the things very black and white, that you are essentially the ones who just say you're terrorists, while Superman, Clark, he's all about, well, why. He cares about the why and how can we stop them to stop doing evil things, and all General Lane cares about is you're a threat to society, you're endangering other people's lives. It's not time for feeling, it's time for action. That whole thing, which is kind of merging a little bit more of the more classic version of General Lang that I have experienced mostly, which is very anti-Superman, anti-alien, anti-superpowers, and all kind of stuff, and kind of like the anti-Nick Fury in a way. But it's just a show. It's just well put together, and it's just like each week you just want to. It's just gonna be like, hey, what's the thing to praise about this episode? And that's what it feels like. It completely feels like that.